it's time to consider our future. This isn't the typical environmental issue. I think you can see that. This is not like sea turtle nesting. This is not like plastic bags. This is not like damage to the coral reefs, all of which are important issues. This is different. This is where we live. The maps are going to look different 100 years from now. In fact, probably 50 years. In fact, well, here's a city in the Netherlands where they have built up, both with a levee, and then a road above the levee, and then a building height above the road, and the first floor of the buildings are meant to wash through if there is a storm wave. So there are some engineering things we can do. Now, this won't work in South Florida because we have porous limestone. The water would come up underneath. In the Netherlands and many other places, there's enough clay in the soil that you can build a levee, and if it's solid ground, keep the water out. But there's even limits to that. There's big structures like this structure at Rotterdam that the Dutch built. But this was finished 25 years ago. It was designed 35 or 40 years ago in response to this terrible storm that in 1953 killed 1,800 people overnight when a levee broke. And this is part of the Dutch defenses and great engineering so that never again. The problem was the engineers had admitted to me that when they designed this $700 million structure, if they'd known then about sea level rise, they would have built it higher. So we need to know what we're looking toward if we're going to design for the future and adapt. This is a city in Hamburg, or part of Hamburg. I was there in June, and they have a huge problem with river surge flooding coming up probably 30 days a year off the North Sea, which is 60 miles away, but comes surging up the river and floods Hamburg. And this is a new part, and they've really done some neat architecture to allow for temporary flooding and eventually even some sea level rise. It's very architectural. It's a beautiful city called Hafen City. There could be floating cities. Now, we're not going to take the 4 million residents of Dade County and put them all on boats or houseboats. But we need to think creatively.